BoJack Horseman is not just another animated series. It's a spectacularly bittersweet show, where humor and witty irony is mixed so profoundly with sadness that sometimes one thing makes you want to both laugh and cry at the same time.
And boy, did this show bring us to the verge of tears multiple times.
Indeed. We rank the top 10 moments from BoJack Horseman that hit too close to home and made us all cry. Number 10. Surprise. In the last episode of Season 4, Mr. Peanutbutter tries to make Diane happy by creating a bell room for her after she tells him it was her childhood dream. While he's just trying to make her feel special, by doing so, Mr. Peanutbutter completely ignores what his wife has been telling him for a long time. Diane doesn't like surprises and she doesn't like grand gestures. They argued about that multiple times. So the bell room becoming real only proves to Diane one final time that she and Mr. Peanutbutter simply don't belong together. They are too different and it's too tiring, too hard to make the relationship work. So they break up.
Number 9. BoJack, is that you? In Season 4, Episode 11, BoJack ends his relationship with his delusional mother, Beatrice, by taking her to a nursing home after she drugged his newfound sister, Hollyhock, with diet pills. He is about to leave her there when all of a sudden his mother, who hasn't recognized him for so long and usually thinks he's her former maid, calls BoJack by his name, coming back to reality. And despite the fact that Beatrice ruined him, despite the fact that he really wanted to get back at her, seeing his mother scared and confused makes BoJack create a beautiful illusion for her, where all is well and she is happy.
Number 8. It's You. In episode 10 of Season 3, Todd finally realizes how bad of a friend BoJack is to him. He finds out that BoJack slept with Emily, Todd's girlfriend, and finally, for the first time in years, Todd tells BoJack off, saying that BoJack himself is the main reason for everything that is wrong with him. These words are hard to swallow on their own, but coming from the goofy, always friendly and supportive Todd, they hit even harder.
Number 7. The Voice. Episode 6 of Season 4 is a special one. Throughout the whole episode, we hear BoJack's inner voice constantly judging and beating him up for every small thing he does. At the end of the episode, his little sister, Hollyhock, asks him a question. Does the voice in one's head that keeps telling the person how ugly, stupid, and worthless he or she is fade away as one grows older? It goes away, right? Yes, says BoJack in an attempt to comfort her. And as we all know, he is lying.
Number 6. Tell Me I'm Good. In Season 1, Episode 11, we get one of the first glimpses of how dark, sad, and real the BoJack Horseman series gets at times. After an argument about the book Diane wrote about BoJack showing his vulnerability and flaws, instead of the shiny image of success he wanted to show the public, BoJack goes to a ghostwriter convention to apologize and make up with Diane. He gives her permission to publish the book. The only thing he asks of her is for her to tell him that he's still a good person despite all his faults. But Diane remains silent.
Episode 9 of Season 4 is basically a presentation on Princess Carolyn, made by her descendant Ruthie at school. Or that's what we think before we find out that it's all Princess Carolyn's fantasy. A way to cope with one of the worst days of her life, where she finds out about her 5th miscarriage, breaks up with her boyfriend Ralph, and fires her assistant Judah for making a business decision behind her back. And even though Princess Carolyn does get her happy ending in the series, the moment where she reveals to both BoJack and the audience that her descendant Ruthie is merely a comforting dream will make you cry every time.
Number 4. Sarah Lynn's death. In the 11th episode of Season 3, we see BoJack Horseman unknowingly break Sarah Lynn's 9th month of being sober by his offer to party. We know something bad is going to happen as we follow them going from place to place, from alcohol to drugs, from a blackout to another blackout. But when the end of the episode comes and we realize that Sarah Lynn has died from an overdose, leaning on BoJack's shoulder, on the shoulder of someone who used to be her idol when she was a child, and that she will never be able to change anything for herself anymore. That's one of the darkest moments of the whole BoJack Horseman show.
Number 3. Hollyhock's Letter. The 6th season of BoJack Horseman took us to some of the darkest places. And one of them was when BoJack Horseman entered after his sister Hollyhock found out that he almost slept with Penny, a girl about her own age, and stopped talking to him. She sent him a letter, and though we never see its contents, it's not hard to grasp that she told him she knows everything and said she never wants to talk to BoJack again. The only family he had left was now lost forever, and that leads him and us to
Number 2. The entire The View from Halfway Down episode. There are so many painful moments in the pre-last episode of BoJack Horseman. The last call BoJack made to Diane before he attempted to kill himself. The realization that death is indeed the end. The fact that Secretariat was a father figure to BoJack even more than his own father was. Every single minute of this episode is filled with tension and darkness. And even when you know that BoJack will survive, it makes your heart sink every time you watch it. And finally, the most touching and saddest moment of them all.
Number 1. Last talk with Diane. Some friends just aren't meant to stay with us forever. That's what Diane tells BoJack in the last episode of the show, as they sit next to each other on a rooftop. And we all know it might be the last conversation they'll ever have. BoJack might have reconciled with Mr. Peanutbutter, Todd, and Princess Carolyn, but he lost someone so similar to himself. And even though we know Diane might be better off without him, it's still sad to see their friendship end. Of course, if there is anything BoJack Horseman has taught us, it's that almost nothing is permanent in life. Maybe in a couple of years, BoJack will become stable enough for him and Diane to renew their friendship without hurting each other. Who knows? But as you watch them sitting in silence on the roof, realizing that these are the last moments of the show, it makes you feel blue, even though it also strangely makes you whole.
And what do you consider the saddest moment in the BoJack Horseman series?
Let us know in the comments, and don't forget to subscribe to Cartoon Junkies!